This might just be the best era in Vanguard in a long time. We are currently getting premium collection reveals every day after being choked out by all these collabs. Now, some people are excited for them, but a lot of people are very bored with a lot of these collabs. And so now we're getting premium collection, which is cool because every single person has something to look forward to relatively soon. You don't have to wait months for something for your deck. You know for a fact that no matter which clan you play, you're gonna get something in this set. And then beyond that, the premium collection seems to be incredibly well designed. We are just seeing such incredible G-guards. We are seeing very good but not insanely broken strides. Just everything is hype. And then beyond that, we are getting physical events. This weekend we have Antwerp. Next weekend we have Germany and Chicago. Like, there's just events all over. So it's like everything. Hype reveals, really good set. Everyone's getting something. And events are back. This is peak Vanguard hype. And so once again today, we have premium reveals that I really want to go over, especially because it's two clans that are very dear to my heart. Both of them easily in my top 5 clans. Starting with the Dark Irregular Stride. Emperor of the Underworld Volfalux. Auto in G-Zone. At the end of the battle, your grade 3 Vanguard attacked an opponent's grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If your Vanguard is grade 3 and you have 13 or more cards in your soul, cost Counterblast 1, discard 5, and stride this face down card as standing on your V. Then, when placed on V, if you have 13 or less cards in your deck, choose up to 3 critical triggers from your soul and shuffle them into your deck. So that's 2 skills, and we really need to look at both of them separately. So first of all, this is essentially a restanding Vanguard, but not really. You know, you get to play your V strategy, whether it's NLK or Sharot, and then NLK, of course, has other combos as well. Like, you can go NLK into Sharot, you can go NLK into Barrow, you can go NLK into other stuff. You could be playing Brewfast or Gasti. Like, there's a bunch of stuff you could do. You could just build any weird kind of deck whatsoever. And then randomly stride this over that. And it doesn't lose drives. You are discarding 5, which is a high cost, but you are essentially this turn getting 5 drive checks. You know, your twin drive and then your triple. Assuming you didn't even do like NLK restanding shenanigans on top of that. So this is very powerful. Now, of course, this is not game breaking. Again, you are paying a CB for just 1 extra Vanguard swing, and you are discarding 5 for it. It is properly costed. It isn't insanely broken, but it is so good for the deck. Why? Well, there's one major issue the NLK or even the Sharot, you know, just DI as a whole has right now. It has a very strong V bosses that you don't want to stride over. You want to be able to play that V game. But then you get closer to deck out and you want to stride Blader Mouse, but if you weren't able to G-guard just yet, you can't use Blader Mouse because Blader Mouse requires you to be at GB2. Or basically, like, it needs to flip itself, and it can only do that if you already have something in your G-zone. So it's basically like a second stride. But you never want to have a first stride. All the first strides in DI aren't that great. So this card literally fixes that. You can play the V games with NLK or Amon or Sharot, like all of the options, you know, you have a lot of options in DI, and then get a stride on top of that. So the ceiling, the power ceiling of an offensive DI turn has increased while also making you more reliably able to go into Blader Mouse. I really like this. But then the second skill is also really cool because when it is placed and you are getting closer to deck out, you can put 3 critical triggers back. So you are going to be less likely to deck out and also more likely to hit crits, which makes this really solid for the NLK deck because right now you do have the issue where you could be doing your entire loop and deck out pretty easily. So this card kind of fixes its own issue it was about to create. So overall, as a DI player, I'm very happy with this. Does it make the DI deck broken? No, probably not, but it does help for sure. Next, we have Dark Irregular's new G-Guard. When placed on G, cost Counterblast 1. For every 10 cards in your soul, choose one of your opponent's units and it gets critical -1 until end of turn. Now this is once again a really good G-Guardian because it is a pseudo-perfect guard if you think about it. You know, even if your opponent's rear guard attacking is huge, absolutely gigantic, it doesn't really matter if it has 0 crit. So this is going to reduce the crits anyway, but it's better than that because it can also guard 1 attack while reducing the crits of another rear guard. So, you know, if your opponent is attacking with 2 units, let's say, a 24 and an 80,000, okay? And their pattern is they attack with the 24, you G-guard with this, it's already guarded because of the 15k, and then you use this to minus the crit on the 80,000 thing. Suddenly both attacks were guarded with this one card. If they have 3 attacks, this thing could guard the first and then minus the crit on 2 other units. So this is also really, really strong and versatile. Once again, all this set seems to be doing is giving incredible G-guards and then giving really good strides. And so far, again, none of them seem to be like game-breaking. We haven't had anything where we're like, whoa, this is gonna completely like destroy everything. They're just all really, really good. Next, this little cutie, Great Nature. Omniscience Dragon Caladrius. Boy, this looks like a parrot, not like a dragon, but it is what it is. Act on V once per turn. Cost, turn a card from your G-zone face up. Choose all rear guards in your front row, and until end of turn, they get 10,000 power. At the end of that turn, retire them. So this is a better, quicker Balaral. Now, of course, if the game goes really long, it gets worse than Balaral. But at least first stride and potentially second stride, this is going to be better than Balaral and doesn't cost you a soul. However, you do lose your on-hit draw. And then auto on V, when this unit attacks, cost counterblast. Choose one of your rear guards with power 30,000 or greater, stand it, and until end of turn, it gets auto on R. When this unit attacks, when your opponent would call cards from their hand to G, they must call 3 or more at the same time. So it's giving a triple battle door kind of skill to one of your rear guards while also restanding it. So the way you're gonna have to see this attack pattern is you're gonna use the act to buff up your rear guards. Then you're gonna use other skills to buff up one specific rear guard. The one specific rear guard is going to attack. This is going to attack. It's going to restand that other specific rear guard. And then hopefully your other rears are restanders like Crayon Tiger, Tuskmaster, and Big Belly Grade 3. That other rear guard is going to attack. Your Crayon or whatever restander restands it. It attacks again, and then the other restander restands it, and then it attacks again. That's going to be 3 attacks where your opponent needs to guard with 3, and then beyond that you already had 1 rearguard attack, a Vanguard attack, and 2 more rearguard attacks. That is incredibly good pressure. This is a very, very good card. Now, this doesn't fix the issue Great Nature has, where it has no strong grade 2 game, early game type of deal. The deck is still a bit fragile, but it's just one more tool. Overall, Great Nature has pretty solid strides. It has Mana Garmer, it has Balaral, it has Zoa, and now it has this. Just another really solid stride. This will often replace Balaral, but not always. But again, just solid, just really cool. I'm excited for this card. Then we have the G Guardian for Great Nature. When put on G, cost Counterblast 1, discard the top card of your deck, so you're milling 1, and then activate the following depending on its type. So if it's a normal unit, this unit gets shield plus 20,000. And if it's a trigger unit, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. So it is either a 35,000 shield or it is a perfect guard. That is really, really good. Basically, no matter what, you're very happy using this G guard. But more importantly, if you are using one of the 2 V Isabels as your Vanguard, she will see this mill and she will always make it both. So if you are playing Isabel as your main grade 3, all of your heals essentially also turn into perfect guards. You are now playing 8 perfect guards rather than 4. So that is once again really solid, really buffs up the defense of the deck. Now I do have to say Great Nature historically has already had good G guards. So it's not like the defense is going to be buffed by that much because, well, Sankalpa was already really good and Spangled was already also incredible. So it's not like this clan really sees that much of a push compared to some of the other clans that are seeing their G guards being upgraded, but it's still very welcome. They'll still run 1 or 2 of this in their G zone gladly. It's just that, you know, when you're already playing with golden G guards, let's say, you know, you can be happy seeing other clans getting golden G guards as well. And if you get another golden one, okay, cool, awesome, but it's not gonna change that much for you either. As a Great Nature player, I may be a bit more excited for this extra stride than for this G guard. And that is all for today. Now make sure you go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn if you want to buy any Vanguard cards or accessories or anything like that. It would be very appreciated. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.